What's up everyone, Captain Natron here, and today I want to talk about one of my very favorite Super Nintendo games, Super Tennis. This game was developed by Tokyo Shoseki and published in 1991 by Nintendo. And to see it in motion and to hear me or anyone talk about it, it might sound like just your average tennis game. And a lot of Super Nintendo games had Super in the title. And I believe Super Tennis is just that. I think it's a super game. So I'm going to do my best. Let's talk about the game. In Super Tennis, you can play solo or with a friend. Going solo, you can play a singles match or team up with the computer for a doubles match. You can also play in circuit mode and track your progress in tournaments around the world by using a password. In two-player mode, you can play against a friend or team up to take on the computer. There are 20 players total to choose from, 10 males and 10 females. Each player has their own strengths and weaknesses in various aspects of the game, such as the strength and accuracy of their strokes or serves. Matches take place on hard, clay, and grass surfaces, and the ball reacts accordingly to each surface. Graphically, Super Tennis is not amazing, even by early Super Nintendo standards, but the graphics are clear and colorful and serve their purpose. Each character has their own unique look, and the venues have just enough detail to feel alive, with the line judges, crowds, and ball boys zipping around. And this is nice since it fleshes out the presentation, and you don't feel like you're playing on a lifeless court somewhere in tennis video game land. After the gameplay, probably the strongest part of the game is how it sounds. The music is fine, with upbeat and catchy tunes. As far as the in-game sounds, there really isn't much to it besides the umpire calls, the crowd, and hitting the ball. But the sounds of hitting the ball and the sound of the ball striking the surfaces of the court, or even the net, are very close to the real thing. I remember being in awe of how realistic Super Tennis sounded when I first played the game. Back when the Super Nintendo first released, I used to rate each aspect of every game I played on a 5-point scale. And even though Super Tennis didn't have a lot in the sound department, or really great music, the sounds that took place on the court wowed me so much, I rated it a 5 out of 5. All these years later, I'm still amazed at how great the sound effects are in this game. As you might expect, you move your player around with the D-pad, and each of the face buttons executes a different stroke. You can also do a diving slide to hit shots that are just out of reach, but these are slow and can leave you out of place for a good return. If a ball flies overhead, you can smash the ball, which is extremely satisfying to pull off. Moving closer to the net allows you to use the A and B buttons to volley. Timed A and B button presses are used when serving, B for stronger serves, while A is a softer serve with more finesse. Using the L and R buttons in conjunction with the A and B buttons allows you to put some serious spin on the serves. This all comes together very well in the game. Your player moves seamlessly around the court, and all of the strokes serve a purpose just like in real-life tennis. It's the type of game you can play around with for just a minute and immediately get a feel for the controls and start to enjoy yourself. I love games with a quick learning curve, especially sports games, and virtually any gamer of any experience level can jump right into Super Tennis and start having a good time. The tennis balls react differently depending on the type of court you're playing on, so depending on the player you've selected and your opponent, you might have certain advantages or disadvantages depending on these factors. Super Tennis is still one of the games I most fondly remember from the days of the Super Nintendo. Time has been very kind to this game, as I think it has aged extremely well. It's still the smooth, easy-to-play game of tennis I loved all those years ago. To this day, I can pop the game in and play, by myself or with a friend, and have a blast. The controls, again, are easy to use, but finesse enough to get really skilled at the game if you wish. The colorful, somewhat cutesy graphics, upbeat music, incredible sound, and rock-solid gameplay all come together to create a fantastic game of tennis.